Hey everyone, my name's Amal and you're watching Newsbreak. Coming up on today's show. The fishy lawsuit against Subway. Lockdown to end for Victoria and South Australia. And the world's most expensive fries. But before we get into any of that, why don't you hit that subscribe button? Subway has asked a US federal court to throw out a lawsuit suggesting that their tuna isn't the real deal. Hopefully Nat has some answers.
Hi, welcome to Generic Footlong Sandwich Shop. What can I get for you today?
Oh yeah, g'day. Could I just get a tuna sandwich, but only if it's real tuna?
Of course it's real tuna. Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah, well actually, have you heard of Subway?
Earlier this year, the sandwich giant found itself at the centre of a class action lawsuit in America, which claimed that Subway tuna wasn't actually tuna at all. Then last month, a study from the New York Times found that no amplifiable tuna DNA was present in a sample that they tested. People weren't happy about it, and neither was Subway, which brings us to today.
Enough is enough. These tuna fibs are getting out of hand. And please throw out this lawsuit.
Subway says the claims aren't true and have released this statement, which says when you cook or process food, its DNA can actually degrade, and that's why those New York Times lab tests haven't been able to find any tuna DNA. But consumers do have a reason to be cautious. There have been lots of cases in the US where products have been labelled as tuna when actually they're not. Subway says that's definitely not the case here, and the lawsuit is costing them money and damaging their reputation. But while they've doubled down saying their tuna is 100% the real deal, taking their word for it still isn't enough for some.
I might just get a chicken teriyaki instead.
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Coming right up.
Good news, Victoria and South Australia. Your lockdowns are coming to an end tonight. Tomorrow, all students will be able to return to the classroom. And in South Australia, high school kids will have to wear a mask.
Even though I have really enjoyed the sleep-ins and being able to work at my own pace, I know that it's a good thing to be able to be getting back into routine.
A lot of people who aren't comfortable wearing masks in class and they're going to complain about it, but we're trying to stop the spread and that's all that we can do.
One school in rural South Australia is finally getting the chance to recycle their paper and cardboard. For years, it was ending up in landfill. So, students took matters into their own hands. Here's Joe.
Welcome to Kangaroo Inn Area School, where sustainable living is key. The students here look after a vegetable garden, a vineyard, and a solar-powered fish farm. But there is something they couldn't do. Recycle. Yep, because of how far away it is from the nearest town, it's always been left off the council's recycling route.
Not being able to recycle is like, seeing the beach without being able to go swimming. It's like, this sucks. Yeah.
And back in 2019, they wrote to the council about it, after students found that nearly 100 kilos of paper waste was going straight to landfill every week. But getting a recycling bin wasn't easy.
We're isolated out here and no one really wanted to be the first to lend a hand, but we persevered and the students were really great in directing a lot of that.
It was a sign of relief. We'd actually made a change and it was great to hear that people were actually listening to what we had to say.
And now they've taken their recycling project even further by creating a centre for locals to drop off 10-cent recyclables like plastic bottles. They've also introduced a traffic light bin system in the school to help younger students sort their waste.
They look up straight up to you. If you set a good example, then that can go on and on.
I love my family, so all our next stories are dedicated to those family type vibes. Alright, starting off with a big family moment, a newborn baby orangutan at the zoo in Israel. It's the first orangutan birth at the zoo in more than a decade. 16-year-old Oscar's pretty proud of his dad and this creation. It's a robot exoskeleton designed to help Oscar get around. Oscar has a neurological condition that stops him from walking, so most of the time he uses a wheelchair. And one day, he asked his robotic engineer dad to do something about it. And that's exactly what he did. I'm pretty sure this is a proud parent moment, admiring a bowl of the most expensive chips in the world that are entirely your creation. a New York restaurant officially has the world record for the most expensive French fries. They'll set you back $271. Alright, sweet, that's all from us. But before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and we'll catch you tomorrow.